What inspired me to start this project was having been working with MS for many years. You know, we don't have a cure for it. We can do some modifying treatments and symptomatic treatments, but what you see is that when people they get their diagnosis and living with the disease, it changes something in their way of looking at themselves, their identity, and some even go down a negative road of fear and shame and maybe even depression. So I've been for many years, of course, trying to talk to my patients and see how can I help them overcome these challenges and live their lives still. And then in the clinic one day, a man with primary progressive MS sat there in this state of depression and felt that his dreams were shattered because he'd built a boat to sail around the world, and now he couldn't, in his opinion. And that's where it came to me as an idea. I'm going to sail around the world with people living with MS as a means of empowering people and getting out and recapture your identity and live your life still. Of course, when I work as a doctor and I recommend different treatments, or I am analyzing and giving diagnosis, that's something that is my core and the most essential part of my work as a doctor. And that is, of course, very necessary. But when that is said, when I meet the person and talking to the person, it's like person to person. It's like just two people talking, and I think that's a very important message too. That you show natural interest in the people that you meet, whether it's you and I meeting each other now or whomever you might meet, and that you're in this interest, show some curiosity and help facilitate, if you can and if the person allows, facilitate that people find their own resources and find out what are the possibilities for me. Of course, try and accept the grief and the sorrow that's part of the disease, and say, okay, I really empathize with you. I'll invite you to look at what possibilities might there be in your life. Well, of course there are, but I would rather emphasize the thing about the family, because that is really what we have felt on this boat, that people, they relate very well to each other, and take this crossing the Atlantic in 3 weeks altogether. There's been no serious quarrels of any kind, and that's very unusual, I must say. This is my third time crossing the Atlantic, and I've never experienced anything like this before. It is also my experience that working with people or being with people like the crew that lives with MS, this premises in life that these people they have is actually a premises that is true for everybody. It's just closer to them, meaning also that they are very well in contact with with something very essential. So the conversation, they lightly change from the deep ones to the more lightly, and we've had a lot of fun out there. Let me say it like that. This project was initiated only 3 months ago. We left Copenhagen. Of course, we started sailing programs last year already, and that's pretty essential that this boat sailing around the world is the torch, creating network all over the world between the yachting world and the MS Society, so that people, they can see this as a possibility of doing something meaningful in your life, go out sailing. So it is my dream and ambition that we can keep on sailing around and spreading the message and inspire people to go sailing or do something similar, changing the perception of what it's like to live with a disease like this, so that you don't over-identify yourself to the disease itself, but so that the disease gets the place that it deserves. Okay, that's the premises, that's something I have to live with, but it's not in charge. I'm in charge, to the extent that we are in charge as people.